Hey, what's up? What's up? Joe in Vegas back with another review. Busy weekend. Last night I got the honor, because that's how I feel, to see Stevie Nicks, the great Stevie Nicks. I mean, I always said I feel like Stevie Nicks is like every woman's spirit godmother. Like, she is a driving force, especially in women, but in men also. There's this something about her. She is like a fairy godmother of rock and roll. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if she knows how she became this icon. Obviously it's the music, but it's more than the music. It's her sense of style, it's her voice. There's something. It's how long she's been doing it at this level. It's something. I mean, if you're listening to this, I don't have to explain to you what Stevie Nicks is. You know. I mean, if you're not listening to this, you're like, who's Stevie Nicks? I mean, this is the top of the food chain. Forget women and men's, even in just rock and roll as a whole, she is at the top of the food chain for classic rock. If she wasn't singing with some of these classic guys, she was their muse. She was in the studio with them, just chilling out. I mean, there's something magical about her. I couldn't believe it when she said she's 75 on stage. God, she seemed youthful. She seemed young. She said she broke her foot, so I don't think she was moving around as much as she normally does. But I know normally she's not moving around that much. She's Stevie Nicks. She doesn't have to dance around the stage. She has her twirls, she has her scarf. She has, I'll get into it little by little. But let me get into the set list. So the vibe out of the gate is before she comes on stage, the speakers start playing Running Down a Dream. So right out of the gate, you're kind of reminded about her relationship with Tom Petty. And anybody who's there to see Stevie has a soft spot in their heart. Not a soft spot. Has Tom Petty in their heart. That's kind of how it is. It's that same vein. So right out of the gate, you knew that there was going to be something, and that was a common theme throughout the show. But she started with Outside the Rain, and then she went right into Dreams. Dreams is just an incredible song. It's funny, I did a review the other night. I went to see Frankie Valli last week, and about how his song Beggin' became a big viral hit on TikTok. And here we are a week later, another legend, Stevie Nicks, and her song Dreams became also a viral hit on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, all the social media, because of that guy drinking the cranberry juice and the skateboards. And it's such a treat. To me, it's such a treat to see these songs that were so good found, I guess, by this younger generation, and they're running around singing it. At least in Stevie's case, it was the original song. Frankie Valli Beggin' was a complete cover, so these kids didn't even know where it came from. So the fact that it was actually Stevie's song and not a cover of Stevie's song, I think is great for her. Introduced her to a whole new generation, and given how awesome she is and how awesome her music is, it just took. And the legend of Stevie Nicks will continue to live on. It would have lived on anyway, but I think that viral video and that song really connected with this next generation, which is so awesome, if you ask me. Then she does If Anyone Falls, and then Stop Dragging My Heart Around, another, Tom Petty infused song. I mean, they did a duet, but, couple. You just heard Running Down a Dream, and 5 songs later, she's doing Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Fall from Grace, and then she did a cover of Buffalo Springfield's For What It's Worth. Also, that quintessential song of that, that era. And the protest era and all that, and being, such a hippie that she is, gypsy, hippie, whatever you want to call her, it's just fit her voice and it fit her style. And it was cool to hear her sing that. I thought it was awesome. Then she did Gypsy, which was awesome. Wild Heart, Belladonna. The whole time in between songs, she was telling little stories really quick. It wasn't a long show, but she put her little 2 minutes or 60 seconds, 30 seconds in before each song, talking about each song, when she wrote it, where it came from, and her voice sounds young. I kept thinking she sounds like Britney Spears. She has a lot of energy, and she's very youthful, and it's just cool, man. She's all around cool. Belladonna, Soldiers, Angels. Then she did Stand Back. And then she did I Sing for Things, and then she got into Gold Dust Woman, which I remember I was very lucky. I was at I think it's considered the last official Fleetwood Mac show, especially now that Christy has passed. It was here in Vegas, and I remember that show so clearly. I think it was right before COVID. And she did Gold Dust Woman, and I remember it was like being in I think she's always done it. There's a portion of this song where she breaks into this dance. She comes away from the microphone, and she does her spins and her moves, and it is like those old cartoons where you watch the snake, just you're like hypnotized. She said outside of the song on its own being so fucking incredible. If you want to know, I think I took some video of it. I'll post it with this. If you want to know what makes Stevie Nicks, I think it's that part of that song. That song is so, I don't know what the word is, haunting. I don't know what the word is. It's such a beautifully written song, and the sound's so interesting and unique. And then that portion where she breaks into her little dance for probably a good minute or two, you're just like, yeah. And then she comes back from her dance and then slays the last minute of the song, full vigor. I remember when that song was done, I was like, Jesus, man, that was to me. I think that was the highlight of the show. Just so freaking awesome. I don't know what other words there are to describe that. Then she did Sarah. Then she did Edge of 17, which is obviously one of her biggest songs. It's a signature song of hers. And she closed out the show with that, and then came back, and then this was like, I don't think there was a dry eye in the house. She did a Free Fallin' cover again with Tom, had pictures up on the screen the whole time of her and Tom on his own. Again, that was the third time that Tom was brought into the show so far. So clearly, I mean, we knew it. We didn't have to wait for Tom to die to know how important he was to Stevie. But I think putting him so much into your show, it kind of reminds us how much Tom was part of our lives too. So it's really sad. It's really sad, man. Tom Petty was something special. Anyway, then she does Rhiannon, which is also one of her signature songs. Just that is probably the sound of Stevie Nicks. I mean, that is like. And then she closed, and I always say this again. About a month or two ago, I went to Bryan Adams, and he closed out the show with him and a guitar and a ballad, and it's so unique to me when someone does that. Usually, people close out with their biggest pop hits and their biggest hits, which are usually rock and roll, and they just blow you out of the game. But she did what Bryan Adams did, and it's a testament to the music and a testament to her. She closed out with Landslide, and just her and Woody on stage, I think, if I remember correctly, and just killed it, that you just have chills. I mean, that's how you close out the show. It's just this haunting, silent staring at her and her voice and her lyrics and her music, and there's something about it, and the show's over, and it ends on that kind of note. You're just spellbound. That's a good word to describe how you feel after the show. You're just kind of spellbound. You just saw arguably the best female rock and roll singer, and arguably one of the best rock and roll singers of all time, as part of the best rock and roll groups. I mean, wow, you just walk out of there like you feel honored. You feel like you got to experience something special. I've seen her 2 or 3 times, and to still feel this way after the third time you see her, it's just, wow, she is Stevie Nicks. There's nobody else like her. I don't think there'll ever be anybody else like Stevie Nicks, and we are lucky that we have her, and we are lucky that she still performs. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a 9.75. It was that good. It's really, go see her. I think she said she's just starting her tour. I think that was the second show of the tour. So she's making her way around. Go see her, man. Don't. Ticket prices is a new thing I'm adding to these reviews, trying to let people know. But the tickets were not bad. They came down in price a lot before the show. I had purchased tickets because I wanted to sit in a certain section. I had purchased tickets a few days ago directly from Ticketmaster. I think I paid $140 something. So 2 tickets with fees was like $350 maybe, which for Stevie Nicks is not bad. I had good seats. I was happy with the seats. But I know that if you waited, I know a friend that waited, he paid $150 on the floor. So they came down. So you might want to wait for Stevie last minute. I know every city's different, but I don't know why it happens. I don't know if it's something that they release tickets more or that there are people who buy tickets thinking it's Stevie Nicks, I can flip them, and they can't, so they start lowering prices. But either way, unbelievable show. There is nobody that can hold a candle to Stevie. I can't think of one artist that's like, oh, they're just like Stevie. Nope, there's nothing like it. So thanks for listening. If you went to the show or have seen her on tour or seen her ever, leave your comments. I enjoy reading them. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, and I will see you at the next show. Bye-bye.